Hello and welcome back. This is Charlie at My Messy Fingers. We are working on our Sir Vagabond album, and we are working on signature for page side 2. And I apologize for sounding a little throaty, but I've got a bad case of allergies. So here we go. I might sneeze a few times or cough, so forewarning. All right, so what I've got here, I'm going to pick this up, put it to a side. Okay, it's been just a minute before. All right, so this piece is your base piece that I've cut. And when you're cutting, when I'm looking at this collection, I would like for you to cut your length first, then cut your width, because I'm using some of the lengths for your pockets. And if you're cutting it in half, then we don't have the same images. So this piece is going to measure for you at 8 3/8, and it will be 9 5/8. No, gosh, I can't see. My eyes are so blurry. 9 5/8 tall. There we go. Okay, so I have a piece of leftover black cardstock I'm going to put here. And then I found this piece. I really love this floral pattern, and then it kind of contradicts itself with the gears and the numbers as it goes up. So I thought that would be great for putting it in here. And then you've got some color contrast with this. If you are using the chipboard pieces, I am using this piece. And then on one of the strips of paper, there was this image. And I have cut it to fit. It's going to go right here, and I'm going to put it right here. Now, I've already inked everything, I think, so I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'll give you the measurements for the cardstock as we go. So let's get this put on. Allergies this year are really bad. We had such a mild winter that we're getting a spring that's just releasing a lot of stuff. I know we've only just begun. So I kind of was laid up for a couple days. So I'm just getting back to this in the hopes that I can remember everything that I did. I will probably be one of those that eventually will have to have allergy shots because it gets pretty bad. My husband's the same way. Okay, so I'm going to turn it lengthwise so I can see what I am doing. Put it in this left corner. Put it in, measured up to the right corner. Push it down. Now I see there that I have just a smidgen of an overhang, and I'm going to put that on the trimmer and make that go away. There we go, perfect. And then I'm going to glue this in here. That kind of made a cool image as well, but this actually goes this way. So I can pull it off more on this side than I can the other. Pair it up here at the bottom, because that's what I can see. And then Now I'm going to, unfortunately the chipboard's not adhesive backed. So I want this to sit in there just so. And then I'll glue the rest of it down. Now if you're not using the chipboard pieces and you're using the ephemera, just pick a piece. I'm moving back and forth between the two. Okay, whoops, wow, that is not sticking on there. That's surprising. Okay, now it's not moving. All right. Okay, that's for the right side. This is for the left side. I've got everything kind of organized here, I hope. All right, so we are going to have 2 panels. And I don't think they're the same measurements. It doesn't really matter. You can make them the same. But they're the extra trimmings from some of the other cuts. All right, so this is just right at 5 5/8, and of course it's the same length at 9 5/8 there. And this is 5 1/2 measured by your length. So I am going to go ahead and get this put on. I think one of the kindest, and I'm taking it as a kind compliment. You know, I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. And I don't hide my mistakes. I don't redo the video. I don't go through and edit the video and take the mistakes out. I leave them in there because they're a learning experience. It's kind of how I look at it. And anyway, this gal was watching one of my videos and she thanked me for leaving in the mistakes because it reinforced to her that she didn't have to tear her entire album apart. So, learning experiences, people. All right, gonna turn it over. And I'm gonna come right up to that 1/2 inch score line. And then we're gonna put this one on. Oh, I forgot to give you a measurement, folks. Oh, I am so sorry. See, I'm still kind of foggy-headed here. When you cut this at the one at 5 1/2 and this one at 5 5/8, and again, you can cut them the same measurements at 5 1/2 each. You're going to want to score at 1/2, and you're going to want to score at 5/8 on each piece, because that's what I am measuring up to when I'm turning this over to tape this. My sincere apologies that I did not make that clear. All right, now when you get them on, you're gonna push back on the 5/8 score line, and you're gonna reinforce that so that you have a nice squared off gusset there. And I'm gonna do the same here on this side. I'm gonna press back against it. And then I'm going to pull it forward, and there we go. We've got our gussets in there. Now, I did tear this apart, and I'm trying to remember. See, it's been a couple of days. My apologies. Okay, so I know these went this way. Okay. This one. This one I do believe went here. I know these were on the outside. And this one went here, but why is that cut so big? What did I think I was doing here with this? I might have to trim, because this one looks like it's cut right. But this one, this panel is too big. I wonder what the deal is there. I'm gonna just trim off about 1/8 of an inch. So this is going to fit in here right along that gusset. There we go. And then this is going to fit right in here. And then if I turn this over, this piece I'm a little confused here. I apologize. What my intentions were. Okay, so this is a piece that goes here. Okay, make sure that these are right side up. There's lettering on this, so this is my right side up. And this is my right side up. But for some reason this church, or I call it an church archway, I know that's not what it is, was supposed to be on this side, but it's cut considerably shorter. I so apologize, everybody. That's what I get for getting sick and I'm gone for a couple of days. I'm just gonna go with what I have here. That's just it. So these two pieces, I do believe, came off the 12 by 12 this way. There's an additional piece in between here because I'm after the blues and the teals on these two sides. So one goes on one side and one goes on the other. Now I think I did make the comment in the walkthrough that you can do this as an 8x8 album. You don't need to make it this big. I'm just a big album maker. I like to play with the images. I like to show them off. Okay, this is not working out right. Boy, I am just fuddling this morning. glue is going to dry here pretty quick, and I'm not going to be able to stick this down. Coming right up to that 5/8 gusset line and laying it down. Okay, so now we've got I'm going to double check my measurements here. That one's bigger, so it's going on this side. I just discovered what has got me all confused. I just discovered it. I kept playing with this image on this side of this panel. That means I've got my framework all upside down. So they're no biggie, but at least now I know what I did and why it's confusing to me, because he should have been turned the other way. So I'm not all that goofy in the head anyway. Now I'm just going to sneak in here, place this down, and then the same with this side. And I am so bad, the two pieces I'm playing with are off of one 12 by 12. This column that's here is so pretty, and in the ephemera, and I do believe in the chipboard pieces, they have miniature ones of these. Okay, now your right and left side panels. You are going to cut the same height. That doesn't change. And this is right at 6 3/8. You're scoring it at 1/2, and you're scoring it at 3/4. This piece, your left side piece, is going to be 5 5/8, scoring it at 1/2 and scoring it at 3/4. When you put them on, they're going to look like this. So that those gussets, the 1/4-inch gussets, are absorbing everything that's you've already built in. So let's go ahead and let's get these attached. Those burnished in there. Okay, larger panel goes to the right side. So I'm going to place this right on that 3/4 inch score line, because when I pull this tab over, I want it to just lay right on top because it's absorbing everything. It's taking in everything that you've just built. See? Just like that. Now we're going to do the same with this side. And I'm going to come right up to that 3/4 inch score line, lay it right in place, fold it over. Okay, now this piece here is the one with Lady Vagabond. Okay, what I did was I wanted the gargoyle, I wanted the arch, and I absolutely wanted her in this. So I played around with my measurements, and I ended up cutting into this piece from left to right. I cut this at 5.5 inches. And then cutting this one in from right to left, oh God, I got that backwards. From left to right on me, I think I'll shut up while I'm ahead. 4 5/8 is what I cut this piece at, measuring in from this edge coming in. There's a panel in here that you're gonna have left over, but I wanted this image and I wanted as much of this arch as I could get in there. And then you pair them up. They're not off by too much, but this one, again, will measure from the very edge of the paper, which is your right side, to the left. You're going to measure it at 5.5 inches. Now, I went in and very carefully fussy cut her out using my craft knife, and I wanted her to come, like I do a lot of my images, I wanted it to come up off the page. So she's going to sit back in here just like this. And I mounted her on a real thin piece of it's a little bit heavier than cardstock. I got it at Hobby Lobby, but I don't think they have it anymore. And then I mounted it with some black cardstock so that there was some stability in her image when it gets placed back down. So I am first going to add, before we do anything, we need to add our magnets, and we're going to put them right here. That's where that needle went. Okay. Now these pages get quite big. You certainly can, if you want to, put one big large one and two small ones. I'm going to do that because her weight is going to be on the top. So this is going to go this way. So I'm going to put the magnet here. I'm going to put a small one here and a small one here because there's some weight with her on this, and I want the magnets to be able to hold. Oh, I only have 1.5 sets of small magnets. I wonder. Where the other one went. But that's okay. I did not do this on the Sir Vagabond image that we cut out earlier. And I don't think I would have to worry about it, but as I got thinking about it, it might be a wise idea to strengthen up these heavy pages with a little extra help. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay. Up here. Here in the middle. And then down here. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the left side panel on first. This side. Give it just a little twist so that they come off. I'm going to put this on here so that I don't have to worry about those magnets separating because they get connected. Now, you do not have to cut her out. It is absolutely optional. But I do believe it adds a little extra depth to the page if she's lifted up off. You know, she's looking over her shoulder, goodness sakes. So I thought it would be kind of nice to have her lifted just a little bit so that it lent to that appearance a little bit more. I'm going to take the center off first. I'm going to look down here at these corners. Get everything. Oh, don't do that yet. Do not do that. It decided it wanted to do a slip and slide on me. Okay, now I'm going to glue all of this down and get it in place before I add her back in. And I'm going to be quite liberal with the glue, especially around the cutout where her silhouette is. So I don't want that lifting, but I've got to hurry because this glue starts to set up fairly quickly. Come on. And down this real thin strip. Okay, so now I'm going to lay it here to the left side first, and then I'm going to walk it over and lay this down. Okay, so I am going to put, I think I'm going to use some pop-up panels that I have because there's such a large area. And then I'm going to just cut a strip about 2 inches wide. Saving that. I'm going to cut the corners off. And there we go. Now she's really going to be sticking up off this page. I think maybe I didn't want to quite do it that high, but we'll see what we got here. I can always take it off. No, that's not too bad. Okay, so now we're going to cover the inside panels. This one goes here. And this one goes here. Did I increase? Yeah, I did. So hard to tell sometimes. I thought this was a beautiful piece of paper. 12 by 12, you're going to have a small panel in here, and had you cut it up so that we can get these images here, and then you're going to have 2 smaller pieces across the bottom, and I don't think you're going to have any across the top. I don't remember. Like I said, it's been a couple of days since I was out here, and I'm not going to waste your time by digging through my scraps just to see what it was I did, so it is what it is. I know you're going to have 2 pieces off the bottom. But I notice a lot of these images that are in here, you will be doing a lot of vertical cuts. And that way we hopefully end up with the same leftovers in our scrap pile when it comes to making pockets. And when you lay this down, you want to be very mindful of that score line over here on the end. Okay, and then this piece we will glue, or I will glue. You attach however you prefer. I just love the images on this piece. I think they're really pretty. All right, now make sure I've got it. We're going to do a couple of pockets. Or maybe these were on the bigger ones. No. They were out here. We're going to do a couple of pockets. And I'm using these in my scraps, and I cut 2 to fit the pockets. And I want to eyeball my measurement here. I want this piece for the pocket to go right from the edge to the edge. I don't want it hanging over out here because it's going to interfere with that gusset. Okay. A little bit of tape overhang, so I'm just going to roll it over using my finger. And I'm going to start here in this corner, lay it down, and come across. Now let's go ahead and do this one. I think in a video back a ways, I indicated that I moved out of my office in the house back out to my she shed. And I was a bit premature because it's the latter part of March and it's cold. So I bought a propane indoor heater. It's called Mr. Buddy. OMG. It is so nice and warm and toasty in here, and it's operating off propane. Saves my power bill about $300 a month to not run the power in the shed here. This little guy is just keeping me quite toasty. I'm really, so far, very happy with it. Okay, where'd the other piece go? Oh, I've got it in my hand. Okay, I think there was one here that was a little bit longer. It was this one. No, this one. This one goes here, and this one went here. I love to play with the scraps. Now, periodically there'll be some big pieces left over, and I make photo mats with them, put them in the album when it's all done. Might help if I made sure the letters were at least upside down or right side up. Now, if you are using the ephemera, there are two in there that look like this. And I'm using one on each side of this. Okay. Now these are adhesive backed, but I find that it's not that easy to get it off. Oh, look at that. My goodness. First try. Let's get this. Come on. You can do this. All right, so I'm just going to lay this. Right there. And then there's this one. Let's see if I can get this off of here as easily. Well, wants to tear right there. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Tell you, I inked the edges because I don't like white showing. And it was a challenge to ink the edges on these little guys. Okay, so that's done. Now, I cut two, and I think they went, did they go in here? This is embarrassing when you're not out here for a while because you were out with allergies and you come back and you're going, okay, what did I do? Let me rethink this process. All right, so on these here, you're going to have a corner pocket, and I cut a, how did I do that? Oh, now I've got myself all discombobulated. Okay, you're going to cut a corner pocket. However you want to cut your corner pocket. And you're going to start here from this edge to here. You can make it as big or as deep as you want. But I'm going to come in here and I'm going to square this off a bit because it's going into my gusset. And then the same with this side over here, but it's okay. Now, I went to my scraps and found kind of a opposite contrast color, and that's what I'm putting on here like this. And then there are some there's some floral and some butterfly. I have the word adventure that I was going to put on one side with a butterfly. And then where is my piece for over here? I don't remember what I did. Well, worry about it. If I remembered right, I went up 4 inches and then made it by the width, and then I cut the diagonal. I wanted a deep enough pocket, corner pocket, that's what I remember doing. But to try and square those up now is kind of funny. I know there's somebody out there that probably totally thinks I'm an inept crafter. Okay, and put this right here, following this right side edge. Follow across the bottom and secure it down. And then this piece, I am gonna need to kind of taper this just a smidgen. And then the same over here. I'm going to clean this up just a little bit here. Okay. Start out here at this edge because I want everything even on the edges. I'd rather make adjustments in the center if I needed to. And then put this on there. And I do know I want adventure here in the corner. And then I think my intention was to come in here and do this on the opposite side. With a butterfly, 2 flowers of butterfly, and then just this cute little butterfly off over here. Now you can put whatever embellishments you want. In any way you want. It's entirely up to you. I was trying to tuck those right into each other. And then we will put the butterfly. I did this earlier. I remember doing this, trying to figure out how I wanted this to go. Okay. Now we're going to turn her over and we are going to do the back side for taping, and then we'll put it in our album. In case you're wondering, this is 5/8 inch tape that I'm using right here on the edges, and then I come into the center of it with 3/8 of an inch because I want to make sure that the middle of this is supported. You're going to be putting a lot of weight there. Alright, so now I'm taking the center of this off, and then I always turn it around this way so it's facing me so I can see these two ends and this edge, and if I set this edge right, I'm okay down here. Make sure I've got it going right side up, and then I want to make sure I'm even on my placement, that I'm square, and then I'll press. Off the tape from underside. Now when I do this, I'm making sure that my gusset is laying down square before I press the tape down, because otherwise you get a gusset that looks like it's on a landslide. And now I'll do the same with this. I want to make sure that gusset lays in there nice and square. Give her a good thorough burnish. Okay, so those go that way, and that goes that way, and then that is your completion of your page 2, your signature 2 on page 2. And come back and we'll be doing page 3. Thank you.